an icon living. I am just an icon living. Icon living. I am just an icon living. I am just an icon. Yeah.
I'm beginning with stretched and thoroughly detangled hair, and I created a U-shaped section just at the very front of my head. I'm going to twist this section down to the very ends and tuck it away for the time being. Now my hair is growing, which I love, but it's becoming a lot to manage and maintain, but I definitely attribute the growth to my scalp nourishing regimen. And as always, I love to massage a lightweight oil onto the scalp that is also very, nourishing and hydrating, and I'm using jojoba oil, which my scalp loves. If you're familiar with my channel and my protective styling techniques, I like to use beeswax as well as an edge control or a pomade, and I layer these two products simultaneously as they provide the best hold. They give a more polished look, and with my thicker texture, this works the best. I always make sure to use a brush to help distribute the product to discourage that white residue buildup and to work the product through so that my ponytail or sleek do is very polished. It looks very nice. And I'm just gonna use an Ouchless scrunchie to tie this section towards the back. And I'm using the Sanek mega strips. This is perfect for my head size, and this will have your edges laid. Now I'm using the Murray's Natural Lock molding paste, and I like to warm this into my hand. This is going to act as a sealant. I love to add this on the ends of any section whenever I'm creating a ponytail of some sort, because I don't want to neglect the ends of my hair. And I like to use vegetable glycerin, which helps to seal in moisture, which is critical for 4C hair textures. And lastly, I'm using jojoba oil to just bring it all together, add that lightweight hydrating effect, and I'm twisting the sections, and I'm just going to pin them in place for now. Now, once I took off the Sanek strips, I realized my edges are really laid. It works wonders. Now for the U-shaped section, I'm going to do the exact same thing by applying a hydrating oil. I'm using the jojoba oil. And guys, again, I'm just showing you the length. It's getting to be a lot, and I probably need to give myself a trim, but And then I'm going to go in and use the 100% pure Australian black beeswax and the Ebony New York edge control. And doing this prior to parting the hair, creating sections with a rat tail comb is such a great recommendation that I received from one of my viewers. It makes parting such a breeze. Use your brush or a fine tooth comb to help distribute the product. And I don't know why I broke this section into smaller subsections. It's really not necessary. If you did about 2 sections, that would be perfect. When I do my styles, I'm freestyling, and you guys are going to see there's a lot of trial and error, and I would much rather myself go through the more difficult process rather than you all. So I am going to show the success and the failures of the styling process, which I go through quite frequently. So I ended up creating 4 sections, and again, I'm going to add the molding paste to the ends of my hair along with the vegetable glycerin and the jojoba oil. This is an extensive process, but it is critical for my regimen. And again, I want to twist the hair down to the very ends, wrap the twist around itself, and pin it in place, and this is how it will stay for the duration of the style. Now here is the type of section you'll need. You want to make sure that the section actually fits into the hook of your crochet latch hook needle, and you want to make sure the ends aren't blunt. You want to taper them. So this is where it gets tricky. Now I am crocheting the hair within this section piece by piece for a particular purpose you guys will see later. But when you're crocheting in sections this thick, you need an elastic band to wrap around the loose end of the section to secure that knot in place. This hair is way too thick, I got you. And you guys are going to see me do this up until about 1.5 to 2 inches away from the parting space at the U-shaped section. You don't want to place pieces of hair this thick too close to the crown. That can cause breakage. That's a very sensitive area for me, so I have to be careful. Now, originally I did the crochet method with those pieces because I wanted to do the pull through braid, but it was a fail. I attempted it like 10 times and it didn't work. So I just wrapped my natural hair into a bun, secured it with an elastic band, and then I tried to do this kind of like wrap and tuck, pull and twist, and it looked cute, but it didn't have as much volume as I preferred because I used about 2 packs of braiding hair when I actually could have used 3, but I was not about to crochet that much more hair in. So finally, I decided to crochet a bit more hair through the bun of my natural hair to again add more volume, more density within this section. And I'm using some mousse because while this hair by Harlem 125 is really good, I love the texture and I think it matches with this style perfectly, but it gets a little bit tangled because I have been, doing so many different attempts with this style. But I finally decided to break the section into 3 and braid the hair. I wanted to show you guys the process in real time, how this looks, just in case you're a beginner and you're trying to do this. You guys know I like to be thorough. Now I'm going to braid all the way down to the very ends and use a rubber band to secure the hair, and then I'm going to pull and tug outer pieces of the braid to widen it to give it more width. You guys are going to see me twist this braid. There's no rhyme or reason, but I do suggest that when pinning the hair into place, you want to put bobby pins where the braid curves or turns. That is the most important. And I wanted to use a ton of different hair colors and these Flexi Rods to create some Shirley Temple S-shaped curls. And I'm using sections of hair about this thick. I'm going to wrap the section and twist the Flexi Rods so as to create a pre-loop. And then I'm going to wrap the hair, laying the section flat to the surface of the Flexi Rod. And I'm adding in a little bit of mousse. This is going to help to set the hair during the hot setting process. And you guys can see you have to take your time when doing this. Use your fingers to keep the hair in place as you are moving down the length of the Flexi Rod. And once you get to the very ends, lay it neatly, lay it flat, and then you want to bend the Flexi Rod. And I just boiled the hair for a few seconds, and then I'm going to remove the Flexi Rods. I let them air dry for about 10-15 minutes, and then you remove the hair, and you want to be gentle about this. So I'm unraveling the hair, taking my time. You guys can see the curl has set beautifully, and you only need about 20 to 25 curls, maybe 30 at most. I did so many different colors and variations of the color 27. And you guys are going to see I'm going to crochet the hair into the section. I'm using the darker color at first, but there's no rhyme or reason. You guys will see this. And I did crochet some of the darker pieces into the U-shaped section. I was just freestyling, and don't make this as complicated as I did. You guys can learn from some of my mistakes. And I love this kind of ash blonde color, and the strawberry blonde is very much on trend. It's perfect for right now. I just love the color combination. This was getting to be so much. I was so tired when doing this. You definitely have to have patience, and when things don't go the way that you plan, I never give up. I'm always going to find another way. And so here I'm using a bobby pin, and I'm going to pull the hair over to the opposite side and pin it in place. Place your bobby pins closer to the crochet knots so that the knots don't move. This is the key to keeping your look in place and creating height within the fro hawk. Now I'm going to go in and trim off the ends, which can be a little unruly. They may have more frizz, especially if you hot set the hair or you boil the hair. And don't cut off too much length. Be careful because you don't want to mess up the overall shape of your curly fro hawk. Now I'm going in and I'm going to carefully separate the curls. With spiral curls, you definitely have to be careful. You can mess up the shape completely. You want to be very careful about this. You cannot rush through this. Take your time. Curl the hair around your fingers to maintain that spiral. And you don't need any product on your hands. You don't need any mousse, any oils. It's unnecessary. Open up the pre-loop so that you can, have a nice clean end. This is the finished look, and I wanted to show you guys my nighttime routine. Again, you always want to treat your edges with some sort of oil to soften the hold. If you prefer, you can use a light spritz overnight, but always use an oil prior to doing so. Add your hairnet to protect the curls and use a satin scarf around your edges. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun. Just wanted to show you guys I do have failures, but I am persistent. I don't give up. This is an amazing year for 2017. It was full of beautiful styles, and I'm so grateful for your support. Make sure you subscribe, join the family. 2018 is going to be great. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.
I am just an icon living. I am just an icon living. Icon living. I am just an icon living. I am just an icon.